Hannah, and I just wanted to do a quick little intro video real quick. Usually I don't do this on my bullet journal videos, but with everything going on, I thought I'd do a little bit of like addressing the situation. I know a lot of people are having to stay home right now, and so I'm hoping that I can do a lot of videos in the next couple weeks for you guys, especially if you're bored or anything. I've been in like self-quarantine for about like 10 days now, but we have a statewide like shutdown at the moment right now, so I'm definitely going to be home for a while. So if there's anything that you guys do want to see on this channel, painting, vintage, bullet journal, you can either let me know here or you can let me know on my Instagram. Sorry if I haven't been on my Instagram a lot lately. In the past weekend I've really been avoiding social media, but I promise I'm going to be better about it. So if there's anything that you want to see over there, please let me know. I know this can be really stressful, so I hope that some of my videos can be a little bit more positive and uplifting. I'm working on a painting video right now that's kind of like a vlog style of trying to finish all my UFOs, which is like unfinished objects. So if that's something that you want to see, keep tuned. If you guys want to give feedback on my future videos, please let me know. This month you guys chose a library and book theme for the month of April, which is what this video is, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you want to see more videos like this, definitely hit the subscribe button below, and if you want to talk to me, go ahead and go in the comments or on my Instagram account. I'll have everything linked below, and I'll have all of my supplies linked below as well. So for the library theme for April, I decided to do a mix of Trinity College and the British Library. Now, the title page is very fussy in watercolor, but the rest is very minimal. I just did my calendar and my habit tracking like I usually do, but at the bottom of my habit tracking, I did a little bit of a library playlist there. And then for the weekly spread, I did it as like the British Library website page. So I'm doing something a little bit different for myself. Usually I don't do like particular markers for a whole month, but these are the ones I want to focus on this month, these Crayola Super Tips. And then I'm going to be using these two pens as my main pens for the whole month, the Artist Lost and the Fukunowski pen. But when I do my daily bullet journaling, like my brain dumps, I usually use my fountain pen. I decided to do the library theme and the book theme after doing the Instagram poll. I kept thinking about what kind of library would I want, and I decided to do my very favorite library, the Trinity College Library's Long Room, as it's called. I went there a couple years ago, and it was one of my favorite libraries I've ever been to. It was just so beautiful to walk around and look up at the ceiling. Now, this took forever to draw. I did it from hand and with like a teeny tiny .005 pen, and it literally took 2 days to like kind of draw it, like not completely 2 days sitting down, but 2 days to kind of work on it. And then it took about 2 days to actually paint all this, one because of daylight, and then also like trying to set up with the camera and everything, and it was just kind of finicky. So this is definitely not a minimal title cover, but I really enjoyed doing it. I decided to kind of do it as like the floor, like if you're like standing it from that point of view rather than the higher up view, and I decided to kind of just stick with these main kind of like warm themes, because if you're in there in like kind of the afternoon or the sunset hours, it looks very golden with all the wood. And so I tried to mimic the wood paneling and everything with a brush. I did end up using a little bit of the markers as well in this, but it was just mainly creating tons and tons of layers on the wood as I worked. I'm sorry if my head keeps popping in view. There is a point in the video that I did cut out because like my head was way over into the camera. I hunch over like Gollum when I draw, especially when I'm trying to do like meticulous detail, so I apologize in advance for it. I'm so sorry. I promise it's not the whole video. But I tried doing a lot of the detailing with the markers. I usually always do watercolor, but it's really hard to like manage the watercolor of like the sharpness of it, and I needed a lot of sharpness for it. So I decided to use markers quite more than I usually do, and I actually really enjoy it, and I'm trying to do more markers in future videos as well, since I know a lot of people prefer doing markers. So I actually ended up doing all the books off camera since there were so many of them and they were like teeny tiny and meticulous, so I just did them while watching a documentary. It took like 2 hours, but like I love documentaries, and it was a great opportunity to binge some while I was working, but I wanted to include them since that's my favorite part of the library, is the floor to ceiling books, all brightly and colorful. And I needed to put like the title April on this, but I didn't really know how until I found some scrap paper that I had from an old journal. It was kind of like vintage linen kind of fabric, like the recycled material. And so I decided to cut that out, and then of course the ink in April with some gold lettering. And so that's how I kind of finished off the title page. Now off to the side of my title page, I really like having a like small calendar, and so I decided to do a small calendar like I usually do, but did like the post of the bookshelf, like of the bookcase itself off to the right, kind of in the corner to fill that gap. I wanted to bring in the library aspect so that it fit with my title page, and so I did that. And then with my small calendar, I'll have at the top, and then in the middle, I usually like to have all my goals. And I don't film all my goals out here on this video, but I like to have my main goals for the month right below my calendar, and then below those goals I usually like to have like a focus quote that fits with the theme, and so I have like a library quote, which you'll see here in a minute. So usually you would have floor to ceiling ladders for these kind of old libraries, but I wanted to keep that little vintage old library feel, and so I decided to have a small ladder at the bottom. I wanted to fill up the space that there was. I don't like having a ton of empty space on pages, and so I decided just to do that, and I put my quote right next to it. But next to the ladder I did like a little set of books with a teacup. I just thought that would be kind of fun. Here first I'm actually putting some gold lettering up from the bottom to the top of the post of like the alphabet. Now this is something that you see in the Trinity Library. It starts like A at the bottom and works its way up, and sometimes it'll be AA, BB. So I just did this one with metallic pen. It doesn't always show up on camera, but it really shows up in person, and I feel like it adds to the effect. Now I did use a little bit of the gold pen inside the main title page as well, but you can't really see it on camera again, but I just like the little finessing added touch it has. It felt like there was a lot of empty space, so I added the green bar like it would have been in Trinity Library on the bookshelf. I put that little green there, and I put a small quote that says, "They say in every library there is a single book that can answer that question that burns like a fire in the mind," by Lemony Snicket. And then at the bottom I put the quote, "Libraries store the energy that feeds the imagination. They open up windows to the world and inspire us to explore and achieve and contribute to improving our quality of life. Library changed lives for the better," by Sidney Sheldon. Now I just did my activity tracker like I always do, so I didn't do it on camera. It's just literally lines. I just did them in the style of like a library index card. I usually just track and plan my exercise. I will have like the overview at the end and at the beginning if you guys want to look at it. But for my habit tracking, I did it pretty much the same. I just did a little bookshelf at this time instead for the decoration, and it's just a miniature calendar for all the things that I want to track. I do have a Fitbit, so I really don't need to be tracking a lot of my exercise, water, and food. So for this, I kind of track of like when did I last do something. So like when did I last wash my hair, do the laundry, clean. I'm trying to keep track of like my nighttime routine of did I actually go to bed on time. I'm trying to keep a routine of when I go to bed and when I wake up. So I'm tracking that this time. But this month I also added FaceTiming, reading, and painting. Since we are all at home, I don't get to see people, and so I would like to have that, and I would like to spend more time reading and painting with this time that I have. So usually I don't do like a playlist or music that I listen to in my bullet journals, but I'm wanting to try it, and I thought I'd do a little library playlist at the bottom since I had room. I did In a Week by Hoser, Dawn by Dario Manelli, In the Light by the Lumineers, Packing for the Voyage by Michael Brook, Soldier Poet King by the Oh Hellos, Kick It To Me by Sammy Ray, and Garden in the Rain by Jane Austen. I tried to do a mix of vintage, soundtrack, and newer music. And then at the bottom I put, with a book we can go anywhere, with like kind of little magical book. I thought, especially since now a lot of people are kind of stuck inside with books, we can really go anywhere and escape anywhere by reading. So for the 1 week I wanted to base it off the British Library, so this is the main column you kind of see when you come in and like you can get books from. So I just decided to base it off of that. Now unfortunately I don't have any footage of this because my head was in the camera the whole time of me actually doing that bookcase, so I'm sorry about that. But I do have footage of me working on the week 14, which is based off the British Library's website where you can research the manuscripts and primary sources, and this is what I used for when I was writing research papers for history. Now I know a lot of libraries are closed right now, but you can definitely check out their online sources, whether it's your local library or state library or your national library. If you need to do research or you just want to read, they always have a ton of sources online. Now, I based mine off the British Library's website, but I didn't do it exactly. They had peach and red. I decided to do tans. The main column, it had to be kind of an even number, so I decided to do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then that last column as my weekly goals. Now for the other side of the page, I wanted to do something really simple and minimal. I didn't want anything really too fussy since I had done a lot of fussy stuff earlier in the spreads. So for this, I just did it as a website with like the search bar, and then like my weekly days would be kind of like the articles. Now I put a quote up at the top that says, "The very existence of libraries affords the best evidence that we may yet have hope for the future," by T.S. Eliot. And I thought that was a nice quote to put there. Now for the future weeks, I have a few ideas. Now here's some scrap paper that I have from an old bullet journal that I had. I don't know if you guys want to see that in any future spreads, but I also have 3 weeks to do, so if you have anything that you're wanting to see for the next 3 weeks, please let me know. So these are just some close-up shots of everything, because I know it can be a little bit difficult to see the detail and the colors when it's like from the filming point of view when I'm doing it, or the overhead. So this is just for you guys to kind of take a look at them. I will have photos of everything up on my Instagram. Currently, right now, I am rereading Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur and Jane Austen's Emma, since I want to see the new movie. And then I have a book that I haven't started yet, but I'm going to. It was recommended in my Yoga Girl podcast, but it's Everything is Figureoutable by Mary Forello, so that's something I'm going to be reading. Let me know in the comments if there's any books that you're reading or if you have any book recommendations. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoyed doing this video. I know I said I wasn't entirely thrilled with the way the spread turned out, but that's just me being like nitpicky about my painting. But I really did enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to the upcoming weeks. If you guys want to give input on those weekly spreads, definitely go below in the comments or go on my Instagram and let me know. I hope that my upcoming videos can be a little bit fun. Definitely, again, let me know if there's anything that you want to see. I hope that you're all staying safe and you stay very well, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Happy bullet journaling! Nisi, you tired of me bullet journaling? Yeah.